Jack, you went fourth round to the Chicago Bears. How was that like for you, man? Having that, to get your name called in the NFL draft.
It was cool, man. It was kind of, a little disappointing going in the fourth round, but I had some ailments and different things that going on, and but hey, overall, it was a great experience, man.
How'd you end
I,
up spending the draft day?
Shoot, sitting at home. I ain't do nothing, man. Cause
Vibing?
I was pissed off because I thought it was going the first day and I didn't. I was sitting with my grandmother and my dad on the first day, and then shoot, the second day I just went to the house.
So
understand that.
back then, so times have changed. As far as all the evaluations and things go. So back then, were you getting like word that you would be going somewhere up in the first or second or something like that?
Uh, yes, I don't know. Oh, someone, but yeah, I was. But then again, I didn't realize that I had failed so many physicals that until after the fact. So,
What was the issue with that?
well, I had a degenerative arthritic knee, one,
Mm,
and I had tore in the SEC championship game. I dislocated my shoulder,
Man.
okay.
so I was all banged up when I left out of that.
Uh,
You
that's
didn't you
that's
didn't
interesting. I
know
didn't
that
know
you
that.
didn't yeah, you didn't know that going into the draft process? Like you didn't get
No,
no?
I didn't get that kind of feedback. I already knew my knee was like that. One of the reasons why left and went out of school early was, man, my body was already failing, so and I
Right.
knew that. So that part I knew. I didn't know I failed all the physicals though.
That's
Man.
interesting. I never knew that. Yeah, that you wouldn't get that kind of feedback initially. So that's just something you find out on the back end
Yeah, I
as you
found that
was.
out on draft day after the fact.
Wow, man. Yeah, okay. I can imagine how disheartening that is then, because
Oh,
you
definitely,
already,
definitely.
yeah, you. It's different when you know, hey, this is I'm probably gonna tumble a little bit because I
Right.
had these things going on, but yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know, bro. I didn't know. So yeah, it was disheartening, but it's life, bro. So hey,
oh yeah,
it is what it is.
the opportunity alone is rare air, so you can always hang your hat on that. It's a lot of people that strap up them cleats and put that helmet on that don't get their name called ever. So
Yep.
it's definitely nothing to yeah, it's definitely not to be ashamed of. I just wouldn't have imagined that you wouldn't have had that info going into it. So I guess at that point, now you understanding some of the things that's kind of going around with your body. It you continue to play ball a little bit afterwards, after Chicago. So yeah, it looked you was only in Chicago what a year or two,
2 years there.
2 years there, and then I think you played a few other like I think the was it the regional football league that ended up folding.
Yeah, and then when I in Canada and I was in Arena, I went some everywhere. But I ain't. I was trying to get out of it. Man, my body was going, and it wasn't. It's not like when you start having arthritic knees like that, and your body start failing you, bro. It's only a matter of time.
What's
So
that like though? Because there's always like we seen it in the movies. When you got to leave this game, like it's never easy. So I know like you saying you felt your body like breaking down, but like you leaving something you love. You've been doing this
Yeah.
since you was 5 years old, bruh. So
No,
what's that like?
scary, scary, because you don't know nothing else, man. You don't. You know when, especially when you do it at such a high level, and you're not able to do that no more. It's scary because then you start thinking about the next chapter in your life, but you never prepare for anything else other than this.
Right.
mm,
Yeah, that's the scary point. Now I look at it now, 30 years later, man. You like, bro, man. If you'd have asked me 30 years ago to write a movie about it, it wouldn't be like this. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. But when you're at when you're that high at level and you're that elite a player, um, you you don't think about the end. All you so consumed with the now that you don't think down the road.
Right. What was your transition from football like?
Oh, it was cool, man. I wound up was crazy, man. I wound up stumbling into something. I got in the car business. 20. I've been in the car business 24 years, man.
No, that's what's
And
up.
I've been blessed with that for 24 years. I've been very fortunate, and I lived a great life, and I'm not getting hit no more. So
Yeah, yeah.
so that's good.
Yeah, I landed this interview through your son Trey, who's also I watched him go through the recruiting process. What was it like for you to go through that process with your son?
It was good, man. You know, the coolest thing is that you see how he's grown and how he, you know, I never forget it, man. He used to go look at and then back then you had the old VCR tapes, and he pop in those old VCR tapes and watch the old Florida games and all that. And he was probably more a bigger fan than anybody ever seen. He wanted to be a Gator, and just unfortunately he had an injury as well, and it kind of derailed his way, had his heart to want to go to Florida. But yeah, he's I was very proud of him, man. He's turned out to be a great young man.